Hi, this is Doug Schneider. Welcome back to Real Hi-Fi. In a previous episode, I talked about why, if you're on an upgrade path and probably prone to changing your speakers a lot, you might want to consider a really high-powered integrated or power amplifier. In this episode, I'm going to talk about when you can consider a much lower-powered amplifier. And there are good reasons to go with a lower-powered amplifier. Number one being cost. In general, a lower-powered amplifier costs less than a higher-powered one. Or if they cost the same, it could be because the lower-powered one is built better or it looks nicer. Whatever the case, you might not want all that power. But whether you can get away with a lower-powered amplifier comes down to, first, you settling on a pair of speakers. Remember, that previous video was about someone who's upgrading speakers. And then there are three main things, including how loud you listen. If you listen at whisper quiet levels, you're going to need much less power than someone who likes to crank it up. And then another thing is room size. In general, a pair of speakers in a small room don't need as much power as the same pair of speakers in a larger room simply because they don't have as much space to fill with sound. Finally, there's the whole loudspeaker amplifier interaction, which takes some technical know-how. In a nutshell, can the amplifier drive the loudspeaker you have capably? On the technical side, from the speaker end, you have to look at things like sensitivity, which is how loud a speaker will play given a certain input signal. And a lower sensitivity speaker needs basically more power than a higher sensitivity one to get up to the same volume level. And then you have to look at the load presented by the speaker, and that's shown in the impedance curve and also in the electrical phase. Does it require much current? Are there wicked phase angles in the electrical phase that could challenge the amplifier? This is, like I said, it gets a little bit technical. And on the amplifier side, it gets even more technical. You have to look at the power output under varying loads, the distortion characteristics, and there's more than one type of distortion. It can be a little overwhelming, but for those who want to dig in and learn just a little, it can be extremely informative. In fact, imperative to understanding. And this is where those reviewers who disparage measurements have really lost the plot. To understand fully, can this amplifier drive this loudspeaker? You need measurements. However, this is an important point. When I'm talking about measurements, I'm not talking about manufacturer-supplied specifications, which can be seen as a guideline at best. I'm talking about exhaustive, credible, third-party measurements, the kind we do on most of the products we review. And if you want to find all we've done on loudspeakers, go to speakermeasurements.com, and amplifiers, you can see amplifiermeasurements.com. And if you do go to our measurements, you will find the Mission 770 loudspeaker in there, which is an outstanding loudspeaker. I reviewed it. The measurements are quite telling. The sensitivity is lower than average. We got 84.5 dB, and usually I see 86 to 88 dB as about the average range. All that means is you need more power than a higher sensitivity speaker to get this one up to the same volume level. But the load presented to the amplifier is quite an easy one. It rarely drops below 8 ohms, and the phase angles are not hard at all. Most amplifiers could coast into this loudspeaker quite easily, even a tube amp. But if you want me to tell you how much power you need for this speaker, I can't. And neither can Mission, really. They say 25 to 200 watts, and to that I say, yeah, because let's circle back. It doesn't just depend on the amplifier-speaker interaction. It depends on your room size and also how loud you listen. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching.